Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Wes, Once the Fiction, and we're talking Daggerheart, D&D, and other tabletop games in today's video, so let's go. Right, Daggerheart. Well, I am in a Daggerheart campaign. My first session's coming up on next Saturday, which I can't wait for. Last Saturday was our session 0. You should see my character sheet on your screen right now. We have Dungeons of Drakkenheim coming to Daggerheart soon. I already own Dungeons of Drakkenheim, and have yet to play in a Drakkenheim campaign. I also actually bought Daggerheart. There are free rolls on Roll20 and on Demiplane Nexus. However, I was just like, I want to read everything and be able to see all my options. So I bought Daggerheart, despite not knowing if I'll actually like the system or not. And we had Campaign 4, Episode 2 Air of Critical Role, along with, what else did we have? Oh, the Mighty 9 trailer and start date announced on Amazon, so that's pretty cool. So I think that's it for Daggerheart news. D&D news, the Scion Update survey, Scion Update Part 2 survey is available now to answer, so make sure you do that. Me personally, I think the Scion spell list is kind of lackluster because they share a lot of the same spells with other classes. Honestly, just change the name of some of them and I think it'd be fine, feel more like a psionic class. So that's my feedback for that. The Hellfire Club digital version is now available on D&D Beyond. When I did my video, it currently wasn't available yet on their website, so that's news as well. Let's see, what else do we have? Warhammer news. I was so wrapped up in my last video trying to focus on my issues with my recording and editing softwares. So I switched from CapCut to DaVinci Resolve, which is why you didn't kind of see some of my more transitions or my purple and gold back screen or anything like that. Still trying to figure out how to do that stuff in DaVinci. And actually had someone comment not that long ago, actually it was earlier this week, about some of my transitions and stuff, and just how I labeled something a guide. But I think because I'm very particular at words, I have ADHD and dyslexia and other things that throw me on the spectrum. So when I say guide, it's more guide. But if you want, if I say you take this at this level, to me that's a build. I do appreciate the comment, and I do try to keep that in mind. I remember somebody was like, this is surface level. So when I did my Grim Hollow subclass video, because it was so long, I mentioned it was just going to be surface level overview of everything, and I didn't actually put any of my gold and purple slides in there, which I do love making for time's sake. And well, speaking of time, I haven't had that much time lately. My photography business has picked up more in the past couple months. It ebbs and flows, so you know how that can be. And also I started taking courses online. Speaking of, I am so nervous about my peer study review for this ecology class that I'm in. Well, it's the ecology portion of my biology class, and it's 23% of my grade. And when I was reviewing everyone else's, they decided to do animals and I decided to go do plants, because I've also been studying agroforestry and it was fresh in my mind. So that's enough about my personal news, between having issues with editing softwares and what's going on in my scheduling. However, I do want to get back to my transitions. I'm almost through with the backlog of D&D content. Haven't done the Obajima yet because initially I was it's too many. The Bard one major class feature is over 5,000 characters, and I'm okay, dyslexia, trying to read that, not happening, and and that's a lot of slides if I was just try to copy and paste that and to just make slides about it. However, if I do it sort of how I did my Grim Hollow video, then I think I'd be okay. And I feel like that's it for D&D news. Other tabletop news, Warhammer's been oh yeah, this is how I got into this topic in the first place. I forgot to mention the holiday boxes that were announced in my last video, and well, I'm excited for the Emperor's Children one because I don't own Lucius yet or Flawless Blades. And a third set of Noise Marines would be cool because I did get the launch box. I haven't bought a Combat Patrol because I just used my Horus Heresy one to flesh out my Tormentors and Infractors recently. And you can actually see that in my last video where I briefly mentioned the faction packs that are still kind of a mess. But a great idea as far as, you know, GW like doing stuff for the community, like bettering stuff. I really wish they had a better program though for their so they have a recycling program. I'm not sure if everyone's aware, where you can kind of take your sprues to a specific Games Workshop store and they recycle them into other stuff. Polystyrene, which is the plastic they use, is a lot more difficult to recycle than your standard PET, polyethanol. Whatever, I screwed that pronunciation up. But then your standard PET plastic, there's rumors going around that they may cancel their like school program where they bring Warhammer to school, and I get it. I mean, you're talking about Warhammer, which is a very grim, dark universe, but that's just a rumor. Because, you know, miniature wargaming also teaches arithmetic, and, you know, just socialization with another individual, which is why I love tabletop games, because, you know, it's not just me, it's not me playing a video game. But other Warhammer news, we got a couple articles about Saboden Khan, the new White Scars chapter master, and I forget his name, but the Iron Hands chapter master, there's a couple articles about them out on the Warhammer community website. Oh, holiday boxes. Right, we had the Tau holiday box. I'm a Tau player, I love my Tau Empire. However, their holiday boxes have been so lackluster, and that's because GW likes to say tokens, or they're not even they're drones, which count as tokens these days. They aren't really like, you don't even have to take them in game, but because they're quote-unquote miniatures, which I guess they are, right? You build and assemble them. I don't have a single painted drone. Okay, besides my recon drones, I don't have painted drones because for gaming purposes, you still draw a line of sight from your unit, not the drone model itself in Warhammer, so I don't take them in game. I don't know who takes them in game, honestly, besides people on stream, and that's only for like the aesthetic look. Yeah, the drones could literally just be the same thing as like, I could say these are my drones. This is a kill team token. But yeah, so there's that. So when I saw their launch box, I'm like, I have all those models. Another Riptide would be cool, because then I could do the Riptide. However, and the Crisis suits are great, but the Crisis suits are so overpriced. Out of all like 3-man units, like Flawless Blades, Blade Guard, Head Takers, Sanguinary Guard, those are all like $60, $62.50, $65, depending on where you are. However, the Crisis suits are like nearly $90, and that's because they come with, it's quote-unquote 9 models in a box because of their 6 drones. I wish GW did something with drones similar to, I know they actually sell tactical drones, but I wish they made like a drone box. Sort of like, I don't care if it's like a $30 box, but it comes with like a good amount of drones. Sell that separately so that you can lower the price of your Tau army, because it is outrageous. There's also the holiday boxes also announced some Age of Sigmar, and I don't think we get holiday boxes for like Old World or Lord of the Rings, which is kind of a shame. I'm sure like Lord of the Rings fans who don't play the game would love a like Christmas holiday box set. And I think that's about it as far as news goes. Like, I'm looking at the Warhammer community website at the very moment. So yeah. What else? We had, you know, the LVO was last week. The London Grand Tournament was also last week. I feel like that's about it. So I've been Wes, Where's the Fun? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.